Hey guys, it's Maya. I'm here today with a new review slash recap on the Pretty Little Liars new episode, Fresh Meat episode 2. Two things: my little sick, so my voice, excuse it, and also the room behind me is dirty, get over it. This episode, I didn't take notes, so I don't really remember what happened in order, to be honest. Like, I'm just, like, what happened. I'm probably gonna rewatch the episode after I post this video, but it's just my, basically, initial reactions right after, watching the episode. So let's just get started. Okay, so let's just start off with Toby. So Toby's turning in these papers for the detective or whatever, and he turns him in. Meanwhile, he sees Allie at jail sitting there, and he's like, why'd you get transferred to this jail? And she was like, you don't need to know, whatever. And then she basically was like, she basically told him, the girls are going to be here in jail. You guys are going to be in jail next because you guys betrayed me. Like, that's just what it is. You guys should have never let me go to jail. A is now going to be really after your butts now that I'm gone. And he was just like, whatever. Like, he left. Then we cut to the girls at school. Hannah reveals she's going on a college weekend or whatever because she got into a lot of schools. And, Aria is, a little salty. She's talking to Emily and she's a little salty because she didn't get into her safety school, which is Talmadge. And I was like, oh, okay, well, that's a problem. She got waitlisted. So Emily is like, you can write a letter and, they might let you in. So then we go back to Caleb, I think, and Caleb's searching the premises because they're just doing a search to see if they can find Mona's body or something related to Mona's murder. And he basically uncovers a knife, a bloody knife, and so he goes back to Spencer and Caleb. First of all, why are Spencer and Caleb even talking to each other? I guess because Hannah's gone. Caleb doesn't really have any friends, whatever. So he meets Spencer and Caleb at Spencer's house, and he tells them he's found the knife, and they're like, we have to. Oh my God, Spencer was getting one. She's like, we have to destroy the knife. And Caleb, I was on Caleb's side. He's like, no, we need to turn this in. Like, I froze up before because I didn't know what to do, but I think we should go back and we need to turn this knife so we can get clues, because it turns out it was a knife that was from Toby's summer house, that he knows about the knife. And Caleb's like, no, because my fingerprints could be on the knife, and because I've used the knife, like all these people have used the knife, so our fingerprints could be on it and we could be caught for the murder. But then, like, in the end for now they all decide, they're like, we're not going to touch the knife, we're just going to leave the knife there, let the knife be, like, just leave the knife. So I was like, okay, at least we came to some type of rationale about this stupid knife. But of course, this is Pretty Little Liars, so we can't let that storyline go. Anyway, so we cut back. I think we go to Aria. They're at Ezra's new bookstore, and he's getting prepared for the opening, and he needs a caterer or something. Oh, one thing I did notice, there's this new guy in town. I did notice him, and Aria was doing something over there, and he was fixing something, and he said to Aria, can you come look at this, because I just make sure it's straight. So she came over, and she's like, oh, it looks pretty good. And then he's like, you're a really good liar. What? That was like, wheels are turning. What? So that made me a little bit suspicious there. Oh, this lighting was making my hair, just everything looks so weird, whatever. Okay, so then after that, we go to Ezra, and he's on the phone. He can't find a caterer. And Emily, she basically needs money because she wants to go see Paige in California. I don't care about Paige and Emily. Like, so happy when Paige left, whatever. So she needs to wait to see Paige. So she's like, I'll cater for your party. And Ezra was like me, like, have you ever? You don't even know about cooking. And then Aria was like, yeah, she can do it, whatever. So he's like, fine, guys, whatever. I can hire somebody if you want. But he just let them have their little fun. He's like, okay, fine, you can go cater my party. Like, I'm really gonna let you cater my big opening for my bookstore. No, I'm gonna get professional. So they're in the back, and Aria shows Emily the letter she wrote to Talmadge so she could be let in. And Emily's like, this isn't that good, like, it's not that personal, and she's like, what should I do? She's like, make it more personal, make it more about you. But Ezra comes in and reveals that his old ex-girlfriend, I forgot her name, Janice, who hates Arya, is now the admissions advisor there at the school, and that she has no chance of getting in. So he's like, but, you know, you're fine, like, there's other options, you could still apply to some schools, like, you'll be fine, I'll help you out. Because let's not forget, Ezra is flipping loaded. So, that's fine. So, we go to Hannah, and she's talking on the phone with Caleb, and Hannah was like, oh, this college is nice or whatever, and Caleb was like, yeah, like, she makes a joke, and she's like, what's wrong? And then Caleb instantly spills the beans about the knife, even though they already, like, discussed 10 minutes earlier that they weren't going to tell anybody about the stupid knife. He already spilled the beans to Hannah like that. Just like, oh, that we found this knife, this and that. And she was like, so then she just left her college visit, and I'm just gonna say real quick, she and Hannah ended up going to Holbrook's house, James Holbrook, which is this weird trailer park, this creepy trailer park, like, not creepy, it's just like a really, like, disgusting trailer park, like, I guess it's kind of creepy, whatever, by herself with her, she looks so good in this episode, by the way, but anyway, by herself, and, you know, she's just asking around, like, do you know where Holbrook is? And I guess she sees Holbrook's dad, and she was like, have you seen Holbrook? And the dad thought Hannah was Allie, so I thought that was interesting. He was like, shouldn't you know where he is? Did you make bail? Like, he thought she was Allie, so I thought that was rather interesting, considering that, you know, there have been allusions to Allie and Hannah in past episodes looking very similar, and Hannah being able to pull off being Allie, so, you know, so she was just like, no, like, you don't know where he's at. He's like, no, I haven't seen him in a couple weeks. So I'm like, where's Holbrook? Like, this doesn't make sense. Like, his girlfriend's in jail and he's gone missing. Where is Holbrook? So, yeah. So she goes back to the car, and A put this bear with guts falling out of it. She's like, oh my god, this is so creepy. So whatever. I think they have established that, I don't know, they're just being so stupid in this thing, whatever. Oh, and they still think that Allie's A in this episode this whole time. I'm like, how could you do all this from jail? She came and talk on the phone every day. Like, for her to pre-plan all this would take a lot of work. Like, oh my god, so stupid. Okay, so then we cut to, so Spencer runs over to Caleb's house, is like, you told her about the knife or whatever, and then he was just like, yeah, like, I couldn't hold it in, and she was like, I had to beg her not to tell anybody else about the knife, still keeping more secrets and lies, and he was like, and she was like, where are you going? And he was like, to find the knife, and we found out he was already put on the suspect for murder before. But hold up, why is Caleb so gung-ho about destroying this knife? Like, Caleb wasn't even thought of being a suspect. I could see Spencer, because she was just accused of murder like 20 minutes ago, but he was accused like years back, and like, just because you touch the knife once, like, they're not gonna automatically assume you had the knife. You could just say, oh, of course I've touched the knife, like, he's my friend, and like, his whole family probably touched the knife. That doesn't mean they're all the murderers. The murderer just got a random knife. So why would you be so gung-ho about finding and destroying this knife? This made no sense to me in the slightest, in the least. Like, you weren't going to be framed for anything. If anything, it'd be Spencer and all the other girls that'd be framed for this knife. And for them to even destroy the evidence, it's idiocracy in itself, because what makes you think that's even the real knife that A used to kill Mona or someone else? A probably did plant that knife. That's probably some guts from off the road, some animal blood. Like, you don't even know. So for you guys to even just do this, you should just had Caleb or Toby turn in the knife and see what was really going on with that knife. Like, that made no sense to me. Like, A is so smart about everything else. Why would you guys think A would just throw the knife outside in the woods? A would have the knife with themselves. A wouldn't put that knife nowhere. A would take that knife everywhere. A is very smart and calculated. A knows what they're doing. So they're so stupid. Like, come on, you guys, let's use some brain power. We're going to college here. Come on. whatever. They should have at least had the knife been forensic by somebody. Like, I don't know what they could have done, but that was just dumb. Anyway, so they go find the knife, and they decide to destroy it. Because Caleb's like, I couldn't throw it in the lake. Caleb decided to destroy it. They decided to go to the high school and destroy it in the incinerator or whatever. Okay, fine, whatever. So they go to the high school. They end up destroying it, but A locks Caleb in the incinerator and almost kills him. Like, barely, because Spencer walks away because she hears something, and then Caleb gets pushed in and almost dies. The knife's gone. We think. I don't think the knife's gone, but if it was really the knife, A would have took the knife from Caleb, not just let him. That's so dumb. So come on, you guys, come on. A's not stupid. So anyway, okay, so Arya goes to Emily again, and she shows her this letter. It's talking about how, like, it's just bad-mouthing Ezra, and, like, how she got distracted or whatever. And she's like, you already sent this? And she's like, yeah, I sent it to Janice already or whatever. And she was like, oh my god, why'd you do that? Like, if Ezra finds out about this, he's gonna be really hurt. And Arya's like, he's not gonna find out about it, okay? So Arya ends up going back to school, and she ends up telling her, like, I want to get rid of the letter, but Janice was like, you know, girl, I understand, like, Ezra is not a good guy, like, I should have known that but from the start. But this tells me a lot. Like, I don't trust Ezra, to be honest, but he's not a good guy. Like, I'm so happy we got out of it, whatever. She ends up getting into school because of that whole letter in Janice, but now A is going to hold over this stupid letter over her and what she said about Ezra in it. Like, that one stupid little line, like, whatever. I don't trust Ezra anyway. Who cares about Ezra and Arya? Like, she's going to college now. Yay for Arya. Arya's going to college, you know. You got to do a little cheating, but sometimes you got to do what you got to do to get in, and she in. Emily's still freaking out about Paige, and, like, Ezra ends up hiring a professional or whatever to cater the party. This is like a filler episode. There's, like, nothing. Whatever. So he ends up catering the party, getting a lady to cater the party or whatever, and whatever, she's fine. She's like, me and Paige are not doing so well, but, you know, we'll get over it. Oh, and the same guy that called Arya a liar in the early episode, turns out he might be living in Spencer's backyard, so that's a turn of events. Wonder what he has to do with the story. Adding more characters, are we, Marlene? Which is great. Spencer and Toby get in a fight about the stupid knife or whatever. Like, you could tell I was very disinterested in this episode. Okay, let's get to the juicy parts. Okay, so Hannah's storyline was honestly my favorite storyline of this whole episode. So Hannah comes back, and guess who Hannah goes to visit? Allie in jail. And Hannah basically tells Allie, like, girl, you need to stop what you're doing, just quit the game, like, you know, we're done, you're already in jail. And Allie's like, what are you talking about? Like, if I were A and I'm continuing to torture you guys, like, which I know you guys are, why would I put myself in jail? Like, that defeats the whole purpose of me trying to be A and ruin your lives. Why would I ruin my own life? And Hannah was like, I don't know, but you need to stop. I was like, come on, Hannah, like, listen to Allie. Allie's like, you know you're gonna be in here next. Like, you guys don't listen to me. A's just gonna do the same thing to you in the end. Like, I'm telling you guys, you're gonna be in here with the same orange jumpsuits. We're all gonna be cellmates. Like, you guys are idiots. Like, literal idiots. Like, I can't believe you guys are this dumb. I'm not A. Like, she's like, I'm not A. I didn't kill Mona. I didn't kill nobody. Stop saying I'm A. Like, you guys need to help me get out instead of destroying evidence that keeps me in here. So stupid. So Hannah was like, you know, Hannah's her face like, whatever, and she leaves. So then, you know, Miss Marin, you know, Jason's over Miss Marin's house delivering some papers for work. And, you know, he comes over with the papers, and he was just like, yeah, you could just turn him in at the hotel because, you know, my dad won't let me in the house. Because, of course, he wouldn't let you in. You turned in his only daughter for murder. His only daughter. I think it's his only daughter, so his only daughter for murder. So, yeah, you can't come back to my house because you turned in my only daughter for murder. Like, you have to live in a hotel. And she was like, you know what? You want to come have dinner or whatever? And I was like, okay, that's fine, whatever. Well, one thing leads to another. And next thing we know, Jason and Miss Marin are kissing. Then all we know is all we see is Hannah walk in, Jason come down the stairs. My question is, why is Jason taking a liking to Miss Marin all of a sudden? I think it's to get close to Hannah and the girls, because this makes no sense. And keep in mind, Miss Marin's still dating Pastor Ted, because Hannah said in this episode, oh, my mom's dating a pastor, so of course I know about this. So basically, Miss Marin cheated on Pastor Ted with Jason. More secrets and lies. And I'm thinking, where did Jason learn this behavior? His mom, of course, because we all know his mom was doing it, dipping it all over the town, but Jason's married. But I'm just saying, like, Miss Marin looks great for an older woman. She looks awesome, you know, for a woman in her 50s. But Jason is like 27. What is going on there? I don't know if Jason has mother issues that are unresolved, and Miss Marin is just this new thing he wants to try because his mom was never there for him. I don't know if this is part of A, but at this point, just because of that, I don't trust Jason. And I think there's more to this story than Miss Marin and Jason just hooking up for one night, you know. Jason used this to keep Miss Marin there, working for him at the firm, or working for him. But why go to this extreme and this length? We're gonna find out in later episodes, but you know, I'm side-eyeing that. That was really random. I was like, gas. So yeah. Okay, so real quick, I want to tell you guys some of my theories. I'm gonna make this real quick, but okay. So I was thinking, like, over the past week about, you know, who could be A, and just some theories I have. Okay, so I'll tell you what I think is the real thing. So I think Miss Marin, okay, now Mrs. De Laurentiis did some things when she was younger. She, you know, hurt some people. She just did some really bad things when she was younger. And I think Miss De Laurentiis had I think she did have twins. I think she had Jason with Spencer's dad, okay, and then she met, or when she was with you know, Allie's dad, and Allie's dad was like, okay, fine, like, you know, cheat on me, we can get over this, like, I love you, I want this family to work, you know, we can do this. Then she had Bethany, but she had another daughter too. Another daughter right here. And I think there were not 3 bodies buried, but she had another daughter. And I think, you know, she cheated on him again, and he said, you know what, it's fine, just as long as those daughters go with, you know, their family and are not living with us. So she was like, okay, so Bethany's parents, which we don't even know who's Bethany's parents are, which is making me think it's somebody's parent in the town, or somebody that we already know is Bethany's parents, and they ended up giving those twins up for adoption. That's what I'm thinking. They gave up those twins up for adoption, so something happened. But I think something happened to one of the twins that Miss Marin had, and like one of the twins died, or one of the people died. And I think that, you know, the family, and I think because of that sister died, Bethany went crazy and off the walls. And I think this is when Mrs. De Laurentiis found her adopted daughter. You see what I'm trying to say? Her adopted daughter in Radley, because she was, you know, a co-contributor in Radley. So then that brought on to Spencer, you know what I'm trying to say. So Mrs. De Laurentiis was, you know, funding Radley and putting money into Radley for God knows what. And then I think that's why, because she wanted to be able to get easy access to her daughter, because I think Bethany's parents, whoever they are, did not know Bethany and Mrs. De Laurentiis were in contact, nor did Allie or whatever. And I think this went on for years, and I think Melissa found out about this, and, you know, she threatened to tell her whoever, because I think Melissa knows who the father is, whoever the father is. And yeah, and I think they took Bethany out, and I think Allie found out about Bethany, okay? And I think Allie found out about Bethany, and that's when, you know, Allie started to find out why everyone's so secretive. Bethany being a secret is why all these things are happening to everybody. You know what I'm trying to say? So I think when she found out Bethany was her sister and who Bethany was, I think that's when A started coming. Because she knew something about A and they wanted to prevent her from spilling the beans. Like she said in this episode, I kept you guys, like, I kept you guys, like, I didn't turn you guys in. Because Allie knows everybody's business. Pull one string, it unravels everything else. So people need to start being nicer to Allie. But A's tactic was like, so my secret doesn't come out, I'm going to try to, you know, torture this girl and harm this girl. So I think whoever hit Allie over the head is A. And I think they meant to kill her on that night. I think that was supposed to be Allie's final night. But the girl never died. The girl never died. And I think when they, because you remember there was a hiatus, but then A found out that Allie was alive. That's when the text messages started to come to the girls. That's when, you know, they were trying to lure Allie out, and then Allie came out. And A now really wasn't having the secrets trying to be put out there. And all these people are dying because they know this secret about this person. And I think A is somebody that we know, like, in the show. Like, Uber A is somebody that is going to be a shock, but it's somebody that was always there during the show. So yeah, I'm not saying A is Bethany, but A possibly could be Bethany. But it wouldn't make any sense to me why it would be Bethany. I think Bethany's dead, even though we didn't see a body. I don't think Maya's alive. Even though it would be nice, you know. But I think either I read a spoiler that Emily's dad was gonna die. But I think Mona's mom is next to die, because I think Mona's mom's gonna find that camera in the doll and give it to the liars, and, you know, A's gonna kill Mona's mom, which is unfortunate, but yeah. Tell me if you like my theory and if you see what I'm trying to say. But I feel like this is all from the past, and when Allie found out something about somebody really important, she made them angry. This is not about her being bullied in the past or whatever. Uber A, because I feel like Mona was the main A for a little while, like in the beginning stages. But I think when Allie like ran away or whatever, that's when Uber A and Redcoat started coming in, because they're like, you know what, this girl, she's gonna be quiet, she's gonna shut up. But yeah, I don't think Mona was Uber A at all. I think Mona was just A. But Uber A was always watching everything, because Uber A has eyes and ears everywhere, and A is my favorite character of all time. So yeah, comment below what you think. Thanks for liking and watching this video. My voice is officially hurting. Sorry this is kind of like jumbled up, but you know, did what we can do. So have a nice night, guys. Bye.